them in. And it doesn't matter if all you have is 4 and there are 4 people waiting to get a slice of your pie. You have to give it. You will give it because you know for sure I can do this again. And this is a mindset of prosperity. The mindset of scarcity is I do not have enough. I can't give. I do not have to be able to give. Which is really confusing when somebody says to you, I do not have to give. Not meaning that they do not have to give. They do not have sufficient to share, to give. And the thing is, if you have, you can share. That's the whole idea of having. You can give, you can share. That's the whole thing that's going on in this situation. I am doing this particular 5-day series of this thing, and I might have 2 more days I could look at doing next week. And it's because everybody is so scared of sharing these days, of giving these days, because they think if they give, their vault will be empty. But is your mind a vault or a river? Which one is your mind? Answer that question. Put it in the comments. Most people hold on to what they have because they're afraid they won't get more if they give, if they share. But a vault eventually runs out of air. Ask us about it. Ask Betty and I about it. Ever been locked in a vault in the bank because the rubber is there and you lock yourself? You have no idea what that's like. So today we are breaking the chains of hot, not enough, and proving that giving is the unlimited act of power. You aren't losing. You're opening the floodgates. We are breaking the cycle of scarcity. So the question you have to ask yourself is my mind a vault or a river? You know the difference with the river. It constantly flows. It does not stay in one spot. It moves. Water does not understand anything but moving. If there is a confrontation between a rock and water, the water is going to win. It will always win. Because water does not stand still. Water moves. And if you block water to the point that you make it stand still, it's going to stink. So this is the reason why you have to put your mind as a flowing river of endless supplies of receiving. Feeling great. I am always receiving. I'm always getting. I'm always having. I have sufficient. Most people hold on to what they have because they're afraid that they won't get more. But a vault eventually runs out of air. We have to be cognizant of that. You stifle everything. Money needs movement. Today we are breaking the chains of not enough and proving that giving is the ultimate act of power. You're not losing. You're opening the floodgates to receive. And it will come at you. It will really come at you. So dive into your pillar of mental prosperity. Change it. And do not ever let it go and become a pillar of scarcity. You know it's the pillar of mental prosperity, not a pillar of mental scarcity. Scarcity isn't just about money. It's a vibration of fear. That it frightens you. You know that you ask that person that question, and they like when my cousin went into that tight little fisted thing. She wasn't a tall lady. She's not a tall person. And when I said to her, can we go see another show at the Roy Thompson Hall? She said, I'm on a diet. And she just, and I go, on a diet? On a budget. I go, okay. So scarcity isn't about money. It's a vibration of fear. She was holding on because she's on this budget. But she missed, she said, the diet. Because that's how it feels to be on that budget. When we live in scarcity, we are physically and mentally tense. We are watching everything. We are holding on that like that. The fingers actually get cramped, which prevents us from seeing new opportunities. If you're clouding in fear and all you can see is all these things that are not coming to you, That is scary. And I don't have enough, I cannot do it, the door is closed, the vault is closed, nobody is sharing. And no, the harder you hold on to this, the more challenging it is to really, truly hold on to it. So, breaking the cycle of scarcity, we have to break it. Open your hand philosophy is what we are seeking for. Today, we are going to explain that a clenched fist cannot receive. By breaking scarcity, you are mentally signaling to the universe that you are so well supplied that you can afford to let things go. And one of the things we can always remember is that when we let it go, it will find its way home. We have it in nursery rhyme. They'll come back home. They'll find their way home. The chicken comes home to roost. All of these things. So we have to remember that one solid thing in life. When you feel scarcity, look around you and see what you have a lot of and hand it out. Maybe it's purposely I put on this thing. Maybe it's all the scarves you bought. I didn't need that with this particular shirt. But I wanted to remember to tell you, look at how many scarves you have. When last you actually used it. This is the season that we should have handed some scarves out to others, isn't it? And that's what we have to look. So when you are sitting there and you're feeling that you don't have enough, look at what you already have and hand a few to others. Just hand it to others. Make a donation to the place where they accept clothing and let somebody else feel it. Wash it first before you hand it out. So, the science of subtraction. Everything in life comes with a science. You see, explain to yourself when you're not feeling good. Get a way to connect to you and say, good. That prosperity often requires clearing the deck, clean the space, get rid of something. That is what scarcity wants you to do. Clear it so you can see what's really and truly there. And while you're clearing it and you're seeing all that you already have, you bring in the big guns. You want more? You bring in Mr. Gratitude and you say, I am so grateful for that scarf. Thank you, scarf. I'm giving it to this human being. It's this cold weather. I'm donating it at the women's shelter. I'm donating it at these places where they collect at Diabetes, Kidney Foundation, cerebral palsy. They come to your door to get it. And they call you. And you can call them. So when you think you don't have enough, take a moment and look at what you've got already. And decide, if I have this and I haven't used it, I'm donating it. That is the science of subtraction. And then you have made more. And I've told you for many, many, many years, Mr. Gratitude has a very good bosom buddy. And his name is the law of attraction. When he sits around, your best friend sees you succeeding, you're getting all this praise, gratitude is there. Oh, I'm so grateful, and gratitude is shining like a movie star. The law of attraction says, oh yeah? If you think you are grateful for Mr. Gratitude, watch what I'm going to bring down your pipe. And that's when the friend, Mr. Attraction, law of attraction shows up and says, you want it, you're going to get it. Here, you want peace, you want quiet, you want joy. What are you seeking? It doesn't always have to be a material thing. You might be seeking the joy of feeling contented, the joy of being able to sit in peace, relax, shoulders back, feet firmly on the floor. And Mr. Law of Attraction will give it to you because he too wants acknowledgement, just like you, just like me. We want acknowledgement when we do the best we can for those we love or we share or we give. We want it. We get a receipt. If we give money, that is acknowledgement that you did something. So that's what we have to look like. Make sure we do that. When you give away physical items, We are telling our brains, I have more than I need. The instant you do that, it lowers your cortisol level. That's what they told me. And stress, it does. And it increases your mental clarity. Isn't that funny? You gave away things and all of a sudden you're feeling less encumbered by them. You're feeling more, I'm stuck in this thing. And when you're giving something away, bless it. Bless it. Tell it. Thank you. You served me well. Good and faithful servant. Now here you go. And that's why I say give those scarves away. That's why I wore this one, to remind you. Donate them. Wash them. Donate them. And let somebody else get it. And see how you feel when the cortisol level drops. Stress goes away and it increases your mental clarity. Transition flows. Breaking scarcity is the bridge between giving and sharing. It is a bridge. It is the bridge between giving and sharing. You give to break the fear and you share to enjoy the abundance. Yes, when you give, you are breaking the fear that you do not have enough. You're saying, I do, I'm giving. And then when you share, you enjoy the abundance. You guys that were here yesterday heard Marina and Yuko and all of them talk about the egg rolls and all of that. And Lisa, not that Lisa, there are two Lisas, Lisa in Toronto. And we're planning the first hot weekend we get, we're going to share. It will be home, we'll be outside, and we will share that joy. I am telling you, it is so nice to share what you know or to let others enjoy your environment. It doesn't take anything off you. It brings nice, positive feeling, and that is what it is, giving and sharing. You break the fear and you share to enjoy the abundance you already have. Remember, you were grateful? And Mr. Law of Attraction said, oh yeah? You're giving all the love to my friend, Mr. Gratitude, and you're not, hey, I'm here. See what I can do for you. The minute you start being grateful and sharing and giving, the law of attraction comes down. And if you're not careful, you will get it so fast, you'll say, what is that? I didn't expect to get this. I didn't expect to win $100 in the lottery, which you really, really need. But that is what happens. Do not look at yourself as a human being and say, I do not have enough to give. You have, and that's why you're supposed to give. Not because it is mandatory by all of that and you will go to heaven. No, just to feel the joy and to spare and to see the smile on these people's faces. We come across people. There's a man that comes on the news in Toronto, Pat Forum, and he just talks about all the fraud. And he is there. He's telling people what to do, how to avoid it. But do you think you actually spend 2 minutes and listen to what this person, he comes on, check it, or go online. I'm sure he has it online. And he talks about it. But yet, when somebody comes to your door, they're not supposed to do that anymore in Canada, door-to-door sales. That's against the law. But they come, and yesterday I was just checking. I had about 11 of those phone calls. 11 on my landline. The cell cuts them off. And they are looking to take what you have for themselves. Be aware of that. They call you and your bank is not sending a courier service to pick up your credit card because there is fraud on it. Why would you do that? Come on. Share the knowledge that you know. Tell somebody that said, the bank said there is fraud on my account and they're sending somebody to pick up my credit card. They always tell somebody what they're going to do. Stop them and say, no, don't do that. The bank won't do that. The bank has control of the credit card. Think about it. The bank has control of your account. They know your name. They know your date of birth. They even know how much you weigh when you open that account. What's your point? So you know that, and you see your friend is delving, oh, I'm talking to this person and they're so nice, and caution. That is sharing your knowledge. Ask yourself this question: where are you holding on too tight? Where in your life? Ask yourself that question right now. Is it your relationship? Is it your money? Is it your time? I have no time. I don't have any time. Yet all we have is time. We really have nothing else. Money, I haven't got money. I have no money. Well, then you said it and you wonder why next month you don't have enough to pay the bill. You kept saying you don't have. Because you do not want to share it. You don't want to give. You don't want to donate. I don't have money. I have no money. And next month you really don't have money because you predicted your future. And now you cannot pay the bill. But what about that time comes and you use your words and you go, hey, the money I have is allocated for something else. So you're not sending the message to your vibration, your energy, to your mental, to your emotional state to say, I have no money. You come to that point, you look at it and you say, even to your children, when they want you to buy, the money we have is allocated for groceries and this and that, and explain it to them so they understand it. And what's your words? Can you lend me some money? No, the money that I have right now, it's allocated for something else. Can you give me the time to do something with me? Then do like I did to this person who jumped off social media and didn't want to be on social media anymore. And then one day called me and said, I had this idea while I was on the train and I'm thinking, I could do this with you. You know what you taught me. I could sit with you and we can have a podcast and we can do this so that I can explain what you taught me and my take and how it has propelled my life to the moon. And I go, okay. But for the 3 years you were off social media, I have changed my business model. That's what I said. I have changed my business model. I no longer do one-on-one lives with people. I no longer do podcasts with people. I have taken all my energy and put it into building my own brand. Right? I changed. And I cannot give you my time. I no longer do this. So, and your relationship, are you because you're holding on to that human being that is insulting you? That is not nice to you. Really? Are you holding on to these people that take every moment to pinch you, to hurt you, to stab at you? And you're still holding on, then you don't need them in your life. Why don't you shake it off like Taylor Swift says? Just shake them off. You notice you are always the one calling or texting. And you have to look at okay. You have somebody in your life and you see how they're treating the two people that got together to make sure they're alive today. They're still alive. They still were born. You know, that famous African-American lady, Oprah, said that she was conceived under a sycamore tree. There were two people that did that, didn't they? So when somebody is telling you how horrible their parents are, and you are in their relationship, and they're treating their parents badly, what are they going to do with you? Why? That is why they're pinching you. That's why they're finding ways to make you feel bad. So you have to look at it. If that person has a daughter that celebrates her birthday, and the best thing they can do is tell them on Facebook, happy birthday. Is that a human being that will be nice to you? Really? Think about it. So you have to see who you are putting in your relationship. Discuss, with them and say, no, I do not want to be in that space. Say no. And when you say no, do not say no with anger. Like I said, since you have been out of social media, I realize you wouldn't have known that I've changed my business model and I no longer do this. So I am unable to do this with you. That's all you have to say. You don't have to get angry. Because you see, if you get anger, then you're going into the same mode they belong. I am so thrilled you changed your one-on-one to your morning blessings for all the benefits, all the benefit from. Thank you, Nancy. So, our brain is wired for survival. That's scarcity. That's scarcity. But prosperity requires thriving in abundance. So remember that. Our brain is just wired to be, it's for scarcity, hunter-gatherer, right? But prosperity requires us to believe we can thrive and have abundance by actions taken by us, not by somebody else. You cannot stand in the shadow of the bigger income earner in the family and think that they will carry you. Where is you? What are you bringing to the pot? What are you putting on that plate? You see, you have to thrive. Visualizing, for example. Breaking scarcity requires that you visualize a minute, a 30-second, a 5-minute, a 10-minute of manifestation and visualization. You want it, then you must see it. You want it, you should taste it. Your mouth should water like, what is Pavlov's dog? As soon as the bowl comes, your mouth should be watering because you know you're going to get fed. So when you are visualizing what it is you desire in your life, you must feel it in all of your body, your nerves and sinew, emotion and vibration. You should actually be shaking at the audacity of your dream. And yes, I'm going to get it. That is the power of visualization. What are you using your visualization to look at? Is that I don't have the money, I don't have the clothes, I do not have the ability. What about if you decide to look really at all the clothes you have? What about if you decide, I am going to make sure I can do this for myself? And that is important. So one of the things we have to look at is the chains that hold you into my parents were poor and I am, nobody ever made it, Tessa-Marie. So nobody ever went to high school, Tessa-Marie. My father stopped in grade 4, Tessa-Marie. And what am I got to do with him? He's dead and his bones, the angels are presently using his bones for trumpets. But there you are telling me it's because of him that you're not doing well. But that's rubbish. That's utter rubbish. You're not doing well because you haven't decided you're worthy of doing the best for you. That's why. It's not because of your father or your mother or your generational thing. Then get on your knees if you believe you have a generational curse and make sure you work this thing out of that situation. You cannot always expect to win, to show up and blame another person because today you're not winning. Today I am not doing this. What did you do? Ask your question, what am I doing? 3 things right now that you can give away. Have you looked at them? We said that on Monday. Today is Wednesday. When you look at what you possess, just make a little bag, put it in the car, and when you come across one of those bins, get up, park in the parking lot, and drop it in there. And as you're dropping it, you say, thank you for serving me for all these years. Thank you. That's what you say as you deliver. When you have to pay a bill, do not get so angry at having to pay the bill. You used it or you bless that money. As you're putting it into, you're swiping. Thank God I have that money. I'm so grateful to pay for this. You're swiping and chicken and ticking with the debit card. Yesterday I got my little notice from Revenue Canada that to pay my quarterly income tax. And I looked at it, I smiled and I said, you know what? Let's look at the option here. Because my friend got hers a couple of days ago. So I sat down, opened the paper and read what they wanted. And I smiled. And I said, The other side of not paying this income tax quarterly means I do not have a home of my own. I do not have pensions. I do not have savings. I do not have 401k and RSPs and disposable income. And my portfolio is dead. And I'm working at Walmart or Home Depot. I'm working somewhere at 80 years old. That's the other side of the coin. Which one do I want? I am happy I have disposable income to enable me to pay for my living expenses. I am grateful for that. And that means I need to pay taxes on it. And that's how I look at it. The choice. I'm not saying it's bad to work at Walmart, but I know it's bad to work at Walmart at 80 because you do not have money to pay for your living expenses. So therefore you have no taxes. So then it intrigued me and I went further. The poverty line is $2,300 a month. That is above the poverty line in Canada. So if your whatever you receive is below the poverty line, then the government gives you a supplement to bring you above, slightly above the poverty line. So the thing is though, a 1-bedroom apartment rent is $2,200. Are you on this? Scarcity. Where are you getting the rest? The food bank? The donation that I just asked you to make to Cerebral Palsy, Diabetes, Kidney Foundation, and all of these other places, the Red Cross, all of these places, right? This is what I'm talking about. So if I resented having to pay this money, I am saying I'd rather have the government giving me enough money to get by. Or if I need more, I have to go out and stand working in Walmart. I told you guys months ago, the lady, I saw her leaning and I thought she was a shopper and I asked her if she's okay. It was 8:45 and she said, no, I'm working, I'm just so tired. And she was an older lady. I'm just, resting on this cot here. I stop at 9. Okay. So I decided, I said to her, where do you live? And she said, not too far. So I didn't have Uber in those days. I called Jillian and I said, Jillian, can you send an Uber for about 9:15 and pick up this person? And I stayed with her. And she went by Uber. So what I'm saying is that this is what we have to make sure we avoid by making sure when you have money, when you have possession, do not get angry because you have to pay a bill. Bless that money as it's being sent to pay the bill and say, thank you that you showed up and I can pay this bill. When you donate, say to the thing, thank you for all the years of service. You're driving a car, you turn the ignition and it goes. It doesn't ask you to tell you, today I have a headache, I'm not showing up. You can deny it. It only complains when you forget to give it gas or give it an oil change or lube job. Right? And it doesn't go. But it's going today. Touch it. Say thank you. Give it a name. It's your possession. And accept it and be happy. Scarcity makes you think that you do not have enough. And when you believe you do not have enough, then you do not have enough. When you say that, the money I have is to pay my bills. I have to pay the bills. Look at that. Just say, you know what? Thank God. Praise the Lord. You know something? I work for TD Bank and I bless them every day. I say, God bless TD Bank. And because without TD Bank, I wouldn't have the knowledge that I have. Number one, I got knowledge from them that got me to write my first book. It didn't become a bestseller, but it helped others to become better. And without TD Bank, I wouldn't have that knowledge. I didn't know. When I held the first book on mutual funds and I started to read it, it looked like I was reading a different language. I had no idea. Ask Betty, ask Colin. And when I got to the Certified Financial Planner course, and that was more than great, that was ancient Rome to me. A lost language, like Latin, like my